You mentioned that this book was sort of inspired by a nighttime routine that you have with your son. Tell us about that routine.
Yes, it was completely inspired by our nighttime routine. I was sitting in a rocking chair with Elvis, and we always say our prayers and sing songs, and he just wasn't ready for bed yet. And so I said, do you want me to tell you your dreams? And I just started creating this fantastic adventure that he got to go on that night with all the things that he loved, which were at the time trash trucks and airplanes and choo-choo trains and the beach. And I just started creating this dream for him.
And you have a special incorporation with this, with the child's dad being present. Why was that an important piece for you to include in this dream?
You know, I started doing that with Elvis with these dreams because I wanted him to have a way to connect to his late father, Nick. You know, Elvis was such a baby when Nick passed away, so I'm always kind of trying to think of ways to incorporate Nick into Elvis's life, and this was another way we could do that.
You were just so open about, on your Instagram recently, about this sort of being an anniversary for you, a sad one at that. What does it mean for you to have this book coming out now, sort of in the same season?
It's very surreal. I do think it's really important to always talk about and celebrate the people that we've lost in our lives. You know, to let their memories live on and not fade. So in a way, it's really sweet because it's a nod to Nick and of course, like, you know, his memory and legacy that will always be with us. But it's very surreal to think about how different our lives were 3 years ago and how far we've come and how Elvis and I are like this little team now. It's heartwarming, it's bittersweet.
I just watched your clip that you posted from the talk where you were introducing your book, and you were talking about how navigating talking to children about grief and death is obviously not easy and a challenge. What has writing this book helped you learn in that process?
You know, it's funny, in writing this book, I didn't really intend for this to be like this, but I think that this book is an excellent tool for adults to use to help their children, you know, start wrapping their mind around the idea of how to connect to people that we've lost. So whether it's a grandparent or a friend or a sibling, you know, or a parent, it's a great way for parents to be like, okay, you know, let's start talking about meeting up with them in their dreams. I've had wonderful dreams about my grandparents, about Nick, so they do come visit us in our dreams, and so why not just start encouraging our children to believe that that can happen?
I'm sure Elvis is starting to get to an age where he's asking questions and wants to know more about his dad. Has this book helped you share true stories with him about Nick in an imaginative way?
Absolutely. I mean, I always tell Elvis that, you know, his dad loved adventures and his dad, you know, would have loved taking him on, you know, adventures or trips or, you know, when the trash truck flies in the sky and it's vanilla ice cream, he knows that Dada's favorite ice cream flavor was strawberry. I mean, we say that. So it's like, it's a great way to start, you know, making memories or talking about those people and helping Elvis to understand who his dad was.
How was this book different for the children's book side of things, writing it and the process, than your first book? Because your first book did so well.
A lot easier. A lot less detailed. Yeah, you know, I mean, both were very cathartic experiences. I would say children's book is definitely more celebratory and a way, like a new way for children to connect to those people that they've lost and to believe in their dreams and go for their dreams. Whereas Live Your Life was, for me, kind of just like really a cathartic experience of like putting everything, all that trauma, you know, that was stored up in my body and in my head onto paper. So completely different releases, but both very cathartic and celebratory for sure.
Did you learn anything about yourself in the writing process of the children's book with it being different?
You know, I think just to remember that even as adults, because we can forget to go for our dreams. And, you know, I love having dreams. I still have very vivid dreams. And I love waking up from a dream and being like, oh my gosh, like that was the best dream ever. And then it inspires you. So absolutely, I think in writing this book, it's always also a reminder for myself to continue to dream.
Was Elvis a good copy editor? Was he helping with this book at all, since he's part of the story?
Oh, he was more than a copy editor. He was definitely a co-author, and I should have given him credit for that. I mean, all these little lines in the book where he has a little line or a part, that was him. That was exactly what he said every night when I was telling him his dreams.
I saw you posted that he was signing some books for some people.
Yes, he was. He was in LA yesterday. My good friend who's taking care of him right now took him to the Grove and had him signing some books at the Barnes & Noble there, which was so sweet. My heart just like burst open.
Does he have a favorite part of the book?
I feel like he would probably say that when the airplane bursts through the rainbow and they land on the beach, he loves going to the beach. We go to the beach as much as we possibly can, and he starts building a sandcastle with Dad. He loves that part.
I saw that you posted a sweet picture of a drawing of your hand that he put his hand on, and then yesterday you were saying that it was making you emotional to see it. I'm sure there's a sense of, I don't want to call it mom guilt, but like, you know, mom worry, a fear of being away from him or stress. You know, what is that like for you?
It's all of those things. It's fear, it's worry, it's guilt. And Elvis is at such a fun age now where he knows I'm leaving. He knows I'm going to go away for work. So it's really, really hard to leave him. And that sentiment was, I stole that from my friend Justin Baldoni, who did that with his kids the last time he left for work. And I just was so happy I remembered it because it's such a cute idea to, I love hands, and I love the idea of holding somebody's hand and that safety and connection that you have when you hold someone's hand. So I just thought that was a sweet idea to put your hand and trace it, and then the child can always put their hand on yours.
You just had Zach Braff on the talk, and you were talking about his movie, and you both were getting such an emotional segment and really moving and powerful. What has it been like to have his support throughout this?
Oh, it means the world. I mean, the amount of times that I've, cried in his arms and he's cried in my arms, and, we are the best of friends, and we really support each other and have each other's back. And, his undying support when everything was happening with Nick, and just giving us a place to live and a place that felt safe and cozy, and meant the world to us.
I get this part right. I think on the show he said something about that your friendship and your story sort of helped him make this film or inspired him to go forward with this film. What was your reaction to hearing that?
I mean, that was very kind of him to say. I mean, anytime you feel like you've inspired somebody, it's like means the world. He saw me through the darkest time of my life. I mean, I ugly tears and rage and, not feeling that I was ever going to be able to make it through what I was going through. So for him to say that meant the world to me. I mean, like I said, we're like the best of friends.
Your entire story has been so inspiring. You've really moved so many people worldwide with it. I saw Olivia Munn commented on one of your posts recently, and she said, "You are the most inspiring person, Amanda." How has it felt for you to have all that support from everyone?
I mean, it means the world. It really does. I think the more that we can support and love and help everyone, the better, and I mean, everyone going through a hard time really needs that connection and that community. That community, especially that time of my life, got me through what I went through. So, I mean, as much as anyone will say that I inspired them, literally, like, my community of support inspired me and still does to this day.
I think people are always so awestruck by how you have chosen joy and found ways to celebrate your life, celebrate things with Elvis, and have these special moments. How do you muster that up, or how do you capture that and keep it?
I say this a lot to anyone that struggles with, the journey of grief. And for me, the answer is always, what would Nick want me to do? He would want me to live a life of joy. He would want me to be positive. He would want me to continue on and strive and go for all my dreams and goals and give Elvis the best life I possibly could. So that's always the driving force, is that I know that that's what he would want.
What do you think he would think of this book and everything you've got going on?
I think it would be like, yay, I'm a part of it, I'm in the book. No, I think he would love that. You know, when Elvis was one when Nick passed, so I think that he would love that he has a book now where he gets to take Elvis on an adventure every night. I hope he would love it.
For you, reflecting on your journey and having this book come out, what does it mean to you to look like? Did you ever think in those extremely dark and hard times that you would be here now having something that is so personal that you get to celebrate?
No, absolutely not. I mean, this is, again, where life just takes you in such unexpected places. And, you know, I think that the things that we do go through in life, those struggles, those hard times, just build you up to be a person that you never knew you could be. And then opportunities, just, you know, from that, you find yourself in different opportunities because of this new person that you've become. You know, I would say that to anybody that's really struggling right now. It's just, you're at the bottom, but just keep building yourself back up, because then that person that you become is somebody that you didn't even know you could be.
Any more children's books or other books in the future for you?
Oh, I hope so. I'm so inspired by Elvis on a daily basis that even before, you know, right when he was born, I had ideas for children's books. So this is literally a dream come true, and I hope I can do more.